everyone, in today's class we are continuing our chapter number 2, quality cost management, of which some topics we have already covered in our previous class. Let's just revise that and then we will continue with our today's topic. So first thing we understood is what is quality. Quality is the characteristics or combination of characteristics that distinguishes one article from another, or one service from another, or one manufacturer's good from another, or one grade of product from another when both are made in the same factory. Even if both the grade of product are made in the same factory, then also there are some characteristics or combination of characteristics that distinguishes both of them, and that is what quality is, right? If you notice, in short we have written here, if you want to refer this definition purely that what is the complete definition, then you can see it from the book. Now, next we understood that what does characteristics means. Characteristics are the features or attributes of product or services like appearance, finish, durability, reliability, and comfort, speed of service, accuracy. These are just examples. There can be many more characteristics through which you can distinguish different products. Next is combination of characteristics. It says that to say a particular product that it is a quality product, we don't define that on the basis of only one characteristics. We define that on the basis of combination of characteristics. Hence, whenever you are defining that this product is a quality product, make sure you are considering combination of characteristics. Next, quality can be defined in different ways. So let's just try to recall all of the ways. First, we understood from customer's perspective, quality can be perception value. That means even if both the products are providing the same function, customer can feel that one product is of superior quality. Here customer is feeling that even if both the products are providing same function, customer can feel that one is superior. As we have seen the example of Bisleri and unbranded bottled water, even if both the bottle are having the same water, we feel that Bisleri is of superior quality due to its brand, due to its known name, right? Next, quality is zero defects because no customer wants a defective product. Quality is fitness for use. Quality depends on for what purpose customer is going to use that particular product. Quality is value for price paid. Whatever price customer is paying, on the basis of that he is going to judge the quality of the product. Quality is support services because not only the product defines the quality, but the support services surrounding it also defines the quality. This is quality from customer's perspective. Now, what is quality, or how can we define quality from organization's perspective? So, organization says that quality is conformance to requirement. That means whatever customer is wanting, if we are able to fulfill their expectation, then we will say that we are making a quality product. Quality is conformance to specification. That means if we are able to fulfill the standards set by our organization, then also we will say that quality is fulfilled. Now, quality as conformance to requirement and quality as conformance to specification is not equal. We have already understood this with the help of example. Next, quality is not an act, it is a habit. That means it is not a one-time activity. If you want to achieve quality in your organization, then you need to work for it every day. Next, quality is free. That means whatever cost organization incurs for maintaining the quality, it is much lower than having a defective product or having a brand loss or expectation loss or customer loss, right? Chalo. Next is quality in manufacturing organization. So manufacturing organization provides tangible goods, and that is why it is easy for us to measure its characteristics or judge its quality physically, right? So what all are the measures through which we are going to judge quality of a product provided by manufacturing organization? So first thing we will check is conformance to specification. Is this product able to fulfill the requirements or the standards set by the organization? Next, we will see that how dependable that product is. That is reliability. How long it can work, durability. How well it performs its function, performance. And how easy it is to repair, that is serviceability. On the basis of these 5 characteristics or 5 features, we are going to judge our quality. Next, quality in service organization. As service organization is providing services, hence services are experienced. So to judge that service, that is it a quality service or not, we need to check some features, but they can't be physically measured, they can only be experienced, right? The first one is tangible features. So even if you are getting some service, some things are there which are tangible, which you get with the services. Like when you enter the hotel room, you have bought a service, but the thing is, hotel room is physical thing which I can judge on the basis of tangible features, right? Next, how responsive our staff is, that is responsiveness. How they are behaving with the customer, that is behavior or courtesy. Next, how promptly you are getting the services, that is timeliness or promptness. How consistent the service is. See, it is very important in service organization that whatever service you are providing, it should be consistent every time. Like the taste of a food from a restaurant. We want that the food taste should be exactly same, then only customer will come again and again because they like that taste. Next, atmosphere or ambience, that also matters in case of services. So how we will judge services? On the basis of some tangible features: consistency, responsiveness, behavior, timeliness, and one more thing, that is atmosphere. Done. Next, quality management. What is quality management? So there is some process which we follow to achieve quality, and that is known as quality management. So this is a systematic approach to ensure that our product or services meet quality through planning, control, assurance, and improvement. So we are going to follow some process or approach with the help of which we are aiming to achieve quality, and that is known as quality management. So quality is the result, quality management is the process to achieve that result. Next, there are some components, pillars or stages of quality management. The first one is inspection. Inspection is when you are checking the final product which has been produced by the organization. Now inspection is a detection based method through which you are only detecting, not preventing the defects, right? You are just detecting whether the product is defective or not. Next is quality control. In quality control, we just not check the product at the end. We aim to check it after every step followed. So it is better than inspection, but now also we are focusing only on detecting the defects and not preventing them. Next comes quality assurance, which focuses on preventing the defect. For that, we design our product, we design our processes again so that defects are minimized. We train our employees so that they can also make sure that the product which is manufactured is a quality product. So here our aim is to find out the root cause, why we are not able to achieve the quality, and ensure that it doesn't occur again, right? So it is a proactive method and a prevention based system. Next comes total quality management, where we say that not only the quality department is responsible for maintaining quality, it's everyone's job in our organization that quality should be maintained. Even if it's a production department, purchase department, marketing and sales, or distribution. Any department, doesn't matter, everyone has to make sure that we are able to achieve the standards set by the organization or the quality standards. Done. Now, next is why quality management matters today. Modern market is competitive and fast changing, plus customers have a lot of option. That is why it is very important for the organization to maintain the quality, because if you are not making that, customer can go to the competitors. If you are able to achieve good quality, it improves your brand reputation, it increases your profitability and revenue, it helps to reduce waste, as we understood in the definition that quality is free. That means we are able to reduce waste and take it much lower than the cost which we have incurred for maintaining the quality, right? Next, compliance with safety regulation, because safety regulations also require some quality standards to be fulfilled. Sustainable competitive advantage, you are able to build a long-term competitive advantage for your organization. Done. Next is cost of quality. Now this part is very important. Why? Because this can also be asked in practical questions, which we will see after completing all the theory part of this chapter. So understand it properly. Cost of quality. Cost of quality can be of two types. The first one is prevention cost, which is known as quality control cost, and the second one is quality failure cost. In quality control cost, we aim to achieve the quality, right? In quality failure cost, we bear the cost consequences of poor quality. Now, let's first start with quality control cost. In quality control cost, we have two different types of cost. First one is prevention cost, next one is appraisal cost. Prevention cost is mainly about quality assurance and quality control cost. So we are preventing the defects from happening in this place, and we are checking it after every process or after every step. So for this, what all costs will be incurred? First of all, we need to incur the cost of planning, that how quality will be checked and what all standards will be maintained in the organization for quality. So quality planning cost. Next is quality improvement programs cost. Like if we have applied in our organization Kaizen or Six Sigma techniques, then there are some costs related to that also will be incurred by the organization. If you are designing your product again, or your process is being designed again so that we can prevent the quality, that is also the cost which is related to prevention cost. Next is record related cost, because if you want to prevent the defects from happening, then you need to make sure that you're recording everything so that we can see whether the programs which we are applying are actually helping the organization or not. Next is training cost, so that employees can be trained for preventing the defects from happening. There should be a quality circle of the employees, that will also have some cost. So all of these costs will form part of prevention cost, and with this there is one more cost which is known as statistical process control, because after every step we are going to check our output, and for that we need to use statistical process control. So this was prevention based cost. Next comes appraisal cost. Appraisal cost is after getting the final product, now we are checking whether this final product is good or not. So process of uncovering defects or checking for failure. It includes inspection or testing related costs, depreciation of equipments which are used for testing. There are workers involved in testing the product. That cost, the cost of that worker will also be included here. And we also need to check whether the inspection is happening in a correct manner or not. For that we do performance audit. All of these costs are related to our appraisal cost, which is incurred after final product has been made, and now we are checking whether our final product is of good quality or not. Next is quality failure cost. Quality failure cost can be divided into two parts. First one is internal failure cost. Internal failure cost is incurred when the final product has not reached the customer, but now we find out that this is a failed product. So after appraisal, that means after inspection, the product can be a good product or a defective product. So if a product is a defective product, then its all costs related to it will go to internal failure cost. Now internal failure cost will include costs related to reworking on that defective product. So if defective product is such that which can be improved after working on it somewhat, so we will try to first improve that. For that we need to incur some rework related cost. If we found out that the defective product is so defective that it can't be corrected, then it will be treated as spoilage and sold as scrap. Then comes scrap, which is material or leftover material which has been left out after working on it, right? So let's take an example of furniture. While we are making furniture, we are cutting the wood. While cutting, there might be some small pieces which get left out, and those pieces are treated as scrap. So these scrap will also have some cost which will be included in internal failure cost. Next is downtime of machines. When we found out that the products are getting defective or we are getting defective products from the machine, we'll try to improve. For making improvements or for making adjustments in our machine, we might have to stop the machine so that we can make those adjustments, and those downtime will be treated as internal failure cost. And next is retesting of reworked products. The defective product was reworked. Now that reworked product is also being checked, and that is why retesting cost is also included here. Now, next comes external failure cost, which is the cost incurred by the organization if the defective product has reached to the customer. Now think about it. If customer is getting a defective product, is he going to keep that? Answer is no. He is going to raise complaints with the company. Now what company can do? They can do repairs on it. A warranty repair can be done by the company. Now warranty repair can be of two types. First, company will get the product from customer to their company, or else company will test or send the technician there itself. If the product is very heavy which can't be moved a lot of times, for that we need to send the technician there itself, right? So these costs will be incurred. repairing the product in the company or repairing the product at the house of our customer by providing that servicing cost, by sending the technician there. Next comes the cost of damage of reputation. So if companies sending the defective product to the customer, then customer will have some trust issues with the company that if I buy next time, then also the defective product can come. And there is also lost sales. If the customer has returned the product and has asked for his money back, then that is lost sales, which is also a cost for the company, right? So these were external failure costs. So cost can be divided into two parts: quality control cost and next quality failure cost. Quality control is of two types: prevention and appraisal cost. Quality failure is of two types: internal and external failure. Internal failure is when product is defective and we found out inside the company itself, or external failure is the one when the defective product has reached to the customer. Done. Next, we understood what does total quality management means. Total means everyone in the organization, every employee in the organization is responsible to maintain the quality. Now, what does quality mean? Quality is first understand what our customer wants and delivering it is known as quality in total quality management. What does management means? Management means planning, controlling and improving so that we can prevent defects from happening, make a system for the same and involve management for maintaining the quality. Done. Next, what is TQM? TQM is a management philosophy. That means it involves management, and if management is not having a mindset for improving quality as a whole in the organization, then this TQM cannot work. That is why TQM is known as a management philosophy, because without that, it will not work. So it is a management philosophy where whole company continuously work to improve quality. The idea is not to wait for problems to happen, but to solve them before, but to prevent them before happening itself. Done. Next. What is TQM? We also understood one more definition which says that TQM is a vision based. That means it focuses on getting a long-term benefit for the organization. Vision based, customer focused. Our main focus in TQM is customer. Prevention oriented. We are not aiming for inspecting the product, finding out the defects. We are aiming to prevent it from happening itself. Continuous improvement strategy. That means we are not going to stop after applying TQM once. We are going to apply it every day, continuously in the organization so that we can find out more and more places where we can improve the quality. So it is a vision-based, customer-focused, prevention-oriented, continuous improvement strategy which uses scientific approach. We are not going to depend on logics. We will take help of data, facts, and on the basis of that, we will make decision to improve quality and what is the best place to improve the quality. This is adapted by cost-conscious people who want to reduce the cost plus also want to satisfy their customer. So if you are a cost-conscious person who want to reduce the cost and improve the satisfaction of the customer, then you can apply TQM in your organization. And when we are saying that we want to satisfy the customer, it's not one time. We want to satisfy them first time, every time whenever the customer is coming to our organization. Our aim in TQM is to manage an organization so that we can excel at every place which is important for customer. Done. Next. So this was each and everything we studied in our previous class. Now we are continuing with our today's topic, and the first topic which we are studying is underlying principles of TQM. Now what are the principles of TQM? These are the rules which organization should follow when they are applying TQM so that they can achieve better quality, better performance and complete customer satisfaction. So these are some guiding rules which will help organization to achieve all of these. First comes customer focus. Now think about it, yaar. In TQM, quality means first understand what customer wants and deliver it, right? So our main focus in TQM is customer focus. And that is why this is the most important principle of TQM. The customer decides whether your product is good or bad. If your product is good or able to fulfill their expectation, they say it is a good product. If it is not able to do that, they say it is a bad product. So who is the deciding factor? Who is the one who is deciding that your product is good or bad? Our customers are the one who are going to decide that. So for that, make sure that you are solving the problems which our customers are facing, and we are able to solve that problem with our product for a longer period of time. That means durability of the product matters. Think about it. You have bought one calculator and it is able to solve the problem. That means it is able to calculate. But the thing is, it is able to do that for only 10 days. Will the customer be satisfied? Will the customer be going to say that it is a good product? Answer is no. So durability matters. The product should last long, should fulfill the requirement of the customer for a longer period of time as much as they expect. Or if your product is able to fulfill their expectation for a longer period of time over and above what they expected, then it is said to be a great product for the customer. So your product should be able to solve the problem of the customer, and it should able to do that for a longer period of time. So the company must understand customer needs. If you want to solve the problem of customer, think about it. You need to know what customer wants, what is their needs, what they expect from a product, and what are the characteristics they prefer to have in a product most. Focus on getting them. First, understand their needs. And when you know what your customer really wants, you can manage the right material, get the right people, do the right processes so that you can deliver the product. So the main and the most important thing which matters is not providing the product. First, understanding that what customer wants and then providing it. Because providing to every organization is doing. But every organization is not understanding what their customer actually wants. And that is why customer focus is the most important thing. Quality begins and ends with the customer. Next is total employee commitment. That means involve every employee in the organization. If you notice, first we'll look into Q, which focuses on customer, that understand customer needs and try to deliver that. Now next comes T. T is for total. Total means that everyone in the organization should be involved. And that is what is our second principle, that total employee commitment is required under TQM. TQM cannot work unless every employee supports it. Because if everyone is not supporting it, we will not able to improve and get improvements in our organization continuously. And that is why support of every employee is needed. Now, if you want support from every employee, so first let them understand that what our organization wants to achieve. So make sure that you are not only communicating, you are making your employees to understand that what our vision is and what is our company's goal, so that they can know that how they can aim for achieving that vision by improving the quality of the product. Now, for improving the quality or for being responsible for quality, they should first know that how to improve the quality, how to look that the product should not be defective. And for that, it is very important that you provide a good training to your employees and provide right tools and resources so that they can make sure that the product is a quality product. When employees feel involved and supported, when employees feel that their suggestions are being taken by the organization, or they feel supported for every initiative they are taking, then they work with commitment and responsibility, and that is what organizations want. Quality is everyone's job, not just the quality department, and that is why commitment from everyone in the organization is important. Next is continual improvement. We don't want to improve one day. We want to do that for every day, because think about it, customer is changing, technologies are changing, market is changing. If everything is going to change, then company has to cope up with that. Company has also to change accordingly, and company has to make sure that after making those changes also, they are able to continuously satisfy the customer. And for that, company must continuously improve their products, processes, services, and employee skills, because if changes are not stopping, then companies should also not stop their improvements. So continuous improvement should be there in the organization. Next comes communication. It's very important that in the organization, there is a good communication between the top managers and the employee. Everyone is understanding everything, and then only they can work or align their work to a one direction. So good communication keeps the entire organization aligned. Everyone must know that what are their goals, plans, strategies, and methods. So what are the goals of the company, plans, strategies and method? Everyone should know that and everyone should understand that. Because without communication, employees work blindly, causing communication and mistakes. Think about it. If you're not telling employees what you need to do, or if you have told the employees but they didn't understand, then will they able to do the work properly? Answer is no. They'll be confused, they'll be doing mistakes. So you need to make sure that communication in the organization is really well. People are able to understand what we are communicating. Communication must be honest, it should be clear and regular. You have communicated to employees once a year. How are you expecting that they are able to understand and they are able to work towards it every day in the whole year? You need to make sure that you are doing that communication regularly, not once a year. So without communication, even good plans fail. It's very important to communicate the things to the employees again and again to let them know that what is the most important thing in the organization. Next, fact-based decision making. We already understood that TQM is a scientific approach. It applies scientific approach. That means we are going to use data, facts and methods. We are not going to only depend on logics, right? So decision should be based on data and facts, not on assumptions. So how we are going to use data for making decisions? First, collect all the data, then analyze the data, understand the data. Then with the help of data, understand the root causes or the problems which are there in your product or services which are lowering your quality. Then take action for improvements. So first collect, then analyze, then understand and then act on it. This increases accuracy, reduces errors and help understand customer needs in a better manner. So if you have collected a better data, analyzed it properly, understood it properly and took action on it, you will be able to get better decisions with the help of it. Next, process approach. TQM says that quality improves when we follow proper process. For everything which is done in the organization, there should be a step-by-step process and everyone who is doing that work should follow that step-by-step process exactly, consistently. Then only we will get a consistent product and a quality product, right? So first thing, make a good process for your organization. It should be a step-by-step process which everyone can follow. And when employees are doing the work, they need to make sure that they are doing it in a step-by-step manner as it's mentioned in our processes. If you are following that process in a consistent manner, you are going to get a consistent output. And then we are able to maintain a consistent quality. So TQM says that quality improves when we follow proper process. A process is a fixed sequence of steps. When everyone follows the same step correctly, output becomes consistent and it reduces the mistakes and speed up our work. So good processes create good products. Next, strategic and systematic approach. Now what does this mean? It means that whenever you are managing a particular process, don't do it alone because every process which is followed in the organization are connected with each other. So manage all the processes together. Think about it. My purchase department is making a purchase order for the materials. Now these purchased materials will be used by production department. Production department will follow a specific process for producing the product. Then these final products will be given to distributors. They will follow a specific process to provide that product to the shops. Next comes marketing and sales, which is going to do marketing for the same product which has been provided by the production department. So every process is connected with each other. One process output is going to be the input for other one. And that is why everything is linked. So make sure that when you are managing all of them, you are managing them in a linked manner, in a together manner. Done? See, a company has many small processes like buying material, making products, checking quality and delivering to customer. Instead of treating each process separately, TQM says that manage all these processes together as one connected system. Why? Because they are connected. So they should be managed together, not in an isolated manner. Because every process affects the next one. If purchasing is slow, production slows. Think about it. If raw material is not coming on time, then production will be stopped. So if purchasing is slow, production is slow. If production is slow, quality problems increase. If communication is weak in the organization, delivery becomes late. So everything is connected with each other. Hence, when the company is planning, organizing and managing all processes in a connected, systematic way, they are able to become more efficient and effective in their work. Now, what does efficient and effective means? Efficient means doing the work with the help of less and less resources. So we are able to achieve the output but with less resources. And effective means achieving the result in the best possible manner. So we are able to achieve the best results with fewer errors, and we are able to do that with less wastage and less delays. So quality improvement should be planned and in an integrated, connected manner, not accidental. Next, integrated system. Now, as we integrated our processes while managing them, we should also integrate our departments so that quality can be improved. Because think about it, if every department is working in isolation, they are focusing only on their processes, then the whole organization or the final output can't be improved. If you want to improve the final output, everyone should work in an integrated manner, not in isolation, not alone, right? Every business has departments like production, HR, finance and sales. Often these work separately like silos in isolations. But TQM want them to work together as one integrated system. Everyone must understand the company's policies, standard and goals. When departments coordinate with each other, they are able to improve the performance of the whole organization faster. All departments should work together, not separately. So this was our last underlying principles. Now think about it. 8 principles are there. How to remember these 8 principles? So we will remember this with the help of this. So customer employee has continuous communication, fact processes strategically integrated. Customer employee has continuous communication, fact processes are strategically integrated. Will you be able to remember this with the help of this? Customer employee has continuous communication, fact processes are strategically integrated or systematically integrated. Done. Now, these were the underlying principles. Now we are moving forward to steps of TQM. If you are applying TQM in your organization, what all steps have to be followed for the same? Now, I have divided the steps into 3 categories. The first one is, with the help of this TQM steps, we are focusing on the customer. And we already said that TQM's main focus is customer. And that is why in the steps also, we will first look on customers' requirement, that what they want. Then company will try to improve their weaknesses. What all areas are there in which company is weak? Company will try to improve those areas, and then we will also look at what our customers are doing better so that we can also achieve better performance than our competitors. So customers' requirement will be fulfilled, our own weaknesses will be worked out, and better than competitors will also achieve the output better than our competitors with the help of TQM. Let's understand this with the help of one example, which is CJ Limited is making washing machines, and for that they are applying TQM steps. Let's understand that how TQM steps can help washing machine to be made in a better manner. First step is identify customer or customer groups. Now what does that mean? So washing machine is bought by different types of customer. First find out what all customer groups are there who are buying our washing machines. So it can be households. Households means the group of people living together in one home, or families, or individuals living alone, or the professionals living alone, or the companies can buy this washing machines for their residential areas. So there are different types of customer. First find out what all customers are there for your particular product. Then do multi-voting in the organization. Now what does multi-voting means? Multi-voting means every manager will be given more than one vote, and that is why it is a multi-voting process. More than one vote will be given to every manager, and they will vote that which customer group is the most important one as per their choice, as per what they think, as per their experiences. So a manager can vote this as the most important and this as the most important. So let's say if every manager is getting 2 votes, they can vote 2 customer group as the most important ones. After this, the best or the most important group after this multi-voting process will be selected, and the company will focus on that group of customers. So if we found out that household is the most important customer for washing machines, they are the largest buyer of washing machines, then they will be treated as the most important customer group and will make our TQM processes or quality improvement on the basis of what all things they require. So the first thing is identify the customer or the customer group on which you are going to focus. Next, identify what customer expects from our product. What customer wants or expects from our product, that is washing machine. So they want that the machine should be able to clean the clothes properly. It should make less noise, because noisy machines are very irritating in the houses. Low electricity and water usage, because that is also a concern for the households. Long life of machine should be there, because they don't want to buy a costly machine again and again, and easy operation should be there. The operation through which they can clean the cloth should be easy for the households. So everything which we are thinking is on the basis of our main customer group. Next, identify customer decision making requirement and product utilities. Now, here we find out what all things customer are expecting from our product. Now we are finding out what are the features or the characteristics of the product which makes a customer to decide that we will buy the product from this company or that company. What are the things on the basis of which they decide which product they should buy? So what customer need for decision making and what benefits they value the most, on the basis of which they make the decision? We are going to find that out. But the thing is, are we going to ask this from the customer? Answer is no. Here also, management thinking is there, no customer feedback. In point 1, we found out the customer group with the help of multi-voting given to managers. Customer was not asked that why they are buying that particular product. Next, we identified what all are the expectations of the customer. Then also we didn't ask customers directly. We found it out by ourselves. Next is identify how customers are making decision. Here also we are not going to ask from customer. We are going to evaluate it from our own resources or our own data. So here also management thinking is involved. No customer feedback will be taken here. Management assumes that. Now why it is written assumes? Because here management, on the basis of management thinking, we are seeing that how customers are making decision. We have not asked customers directly. Hence it is written that it is assumption only, not the correct decision making criteria for the customer. That will be known when we ask the customer directly. But as we are not asking right now, we are saying that it is just an assumption of the managers that what customers value. So on the basis of managers' assumption, they think that they make decision of buying a particular washing machine from a particular company on the basis of what capacity the machine is, what is the energy rating, what is the warranty period, and what price it is selling at. On the basis of these areas, customer make decision of buying the machine or not. Next, identify perceived problems in decision making and product utilities. Now organization will look at its internal problem due to which customer is not choosing or deciding this particular company and buying the product from other companies. So we will find out our own weaknesses due to which our product is not able to fulfill the requirement of customer. So company will list out its own weaknesses, doubts and problems which they are facing. Now how they will list all of these? By doing brainstorming. Now in brainstorming, everyone sits together and find out solution for the same. So everyone will sit together and find out what all doubts, weaknesses and problems are there. Now after finding out all the doubts, weaknesses and problems, company will do multi-voting again and the most important problems will be found out. So with the help of this process, we are finding out that why we are failing, why we are not able to fulfill the requirement of customers and why customer is going to competitors. Which processes are the one which are creating problem in our product? Where can we improve the most or where can we add more and more value for the customer? So company finds its problem. So we are taking the example of machine, right? Washing machine. So they can find out with the help of brainstorming that motor heating is the problem. Complex control planner is there. That is why customers are not able to use our washing machine properly. Clothes are not getting cleaned properly in our product. So these are our problems, our processes problem which has been found out. Then after this, the top problem is selected using multi-voting. Next, benchmarking and comparison with other firms. First step was identify the customer group. Next, what they are expecting, find it out. Next, how they make decisions. That also will be found out by the managers thinking and not through customer feedback. Next, we understood what are our internal problems. Now we are looking at how competitors are solving the problem of customers. So benchmarking and comparison with other firm, company compares itself with the competitors or the industry's leader or the best performer of their category. They will just compare themselves with all of these so that they can understand what others are doing better, how to improve their own system, what others are doing the better, and how can we also do the same thing. So for that we need to improve our system. So we will find out that what all improvement we can do in our system and what weaknesses are the most serious one which competitor is able to solve but we are not, right? So we can take the example of washing machine that other gives 10-year of warranty, other use inverter motor, other consume less electricity, and we are not able to do that, right? So we will find out that how we can improve our own system for the same and what weaknesses are most serious which competitor is able to solve but we are not. We'll focus on that first. Next comes customer feedback. Finally, now we will go to customer and ask them that what are your problems. So 1 to 5 steps were only about internal analysis where we are just doing everything with the help of managers and employees which we have in our organization. But the 6th step is where company actually talks to customer through surveys, interviews or feedback forms. Customer can share their real problems, what they expect and what are their suggestions for the product. Now with the help of all of these, company corrects its assumption. Do you know in the 3rd step, the company made assumption about how customer make decisions? Now company can in the 6th step correct its wrong assumption. If anything wrong has been assumed by the company that this is the basis on which customer decides, they can correct it in 6th step. So if machine's case we take, so customer can say that machine vibrates too much, button are confusing, service response is low. On the basis of what customers are saying, we will correct our assumptions what we had earlier. Done. Now, after doing all of these, analyzing that what are the real problems, we will find out improvement opportunities through which we can solve all these problems. After finding out improvement opportunities, we will implement a quality improvement process so that we can actually get the benefit of it. Because without implementation, just by making an improvement process, you'll not be able to get the benefit of it. You need to implement it, then only you'll get the benefit. So identify improvement opportunity is the 7th step and 8th step is implement quality improvement process. Now to do both of these, to identify new areas or opportunities through which we can solve our problems and to implement those processes, we use praise. Praise is a method or a technique with the help of which we are going to identify areas of improvement and implement it in our organization. Now, what is praise? How we use it? We are going to study it afterwards. First, open your summary book and just start writing that what are the underlying principles and what are the TQM steps. So write it down. Underlying principles of TQM. I'm going to start with a new page because it is going to take the whole page to write underlying principles. And I don't want to divide it into parts. Underlying principles of TQM. Make sure you are using the space efficiently so that we can cover everything effectively, right? Effectively is achieving the result and efficiently is using less and less resources. So make sure you are using the page wisely and efficiently so that we can write everything effectively. I hope you understand the difference between efficient and effective because that is very important for us. Now, total we have 8 principles. We remembered it through customer employee has continuous communication and fact processes are strategically integrated. Right? These are the 8 underlying principles of TQM. We are starting with our first one, that is customer focus. Customer focus is the most important principle. Why? Because customer decides our product is good or bad, right? Customer decides good or bad. And if we want to achieve quality in our product, then we need to solve the problem of customers. And make a durable product, right? Which can last long. Next, if company knows what customer wants, because that is the most important thing, to understand that what customer is wanting from us. If you are able to understand what customer wants, then it becomes easier for the organization to collect all the resources, people, and deliver what the customer is wanting, right? So if company knows what customer wants, they can arrange for right material, people, and processes to deliver it. This is our first point, which is customer focus. Next, write in the same fashion as I am writing. No need to change the sequence or the way it is looking. We want to complete everything in one page itself. Total employee involvement. Total employee involvement. Because TQM cannot work without everyone working towards it. TQM cannot work without this. So W/O is without, but you can't write in exam W/O. You need to write complete without. Done. Employee must understand vision and goal of a company. They should be trained properly, plus provided with the right tools, so that they can also work towards achieving good quality. And they should also feel involved plus supported. Then only they are going to work with commitment in the organization. If they feel involved and supported, they work with commitment and responsibility. This is our second principle. Next, customer employee has continuous communication. So continuous improvement is the third point. Continuous improvement is about no company becomes perfect in one day. है ना? If you want to become perfect, you need to keep on working every day. Why? Because if you think that today we have improved, till now for 1 year we worked very hard towards quality and now we are able to achieve the quality in a good manner. But if you are not working from the next day onwards, then think about it. Even if you are not working, customer is changing, technology is changing, market is changing. So if you are not trying to improve yourself after that, you'll keep on stuck there and every competitor will grab the customer. So it's very important to keep on working towards quality. You can't stop it at once. Customer plus technology plus market changes. So, company must continuously improve its product, service, process, and employee skill. This is our third point. Customer employee has continuous communication. Communication is the fourth point. Communication. Communication is about everyone knows the goals, plans, strategies and method. Everyone in the organization should know this. What are the goals, plans and strategy and method of the organization? No communication. If you are not doing communication with employees, what happens? Employee works blindly. They also don't know where they need to go. That is why they are working blindly, confused and making mistakes. So it's very important that communication is honest, that you need to communicate honestly, clearly and regularly with your employees. Done. This is our fourth point. So, customer employee has continuous communication. Fact processes are systematically integrated or strategically integrated. So, fact. That is fact-based decision making. We are not going to take decisions on the basis of logic. We are going to take decision on the basis of data and facts. So decision should be fact-based, not on assumptions. Data should be collected, analyzed, understood or understand it and then take action. What happens while we use data for making decision? It increases accuracy, less errors, and helps understand customers better. Next, fact-based decision making, fact process. This is our process approach. There should be, what is process? Process is fixed step-by-step method. So we need to make sure that everyone in the organization should follow these steps for performing the task so that we can get the consistent output. है ना? Write it down. Everyone follows same steps plus correctly follows them leads to consistent output, less mistakes, and work happens in a speedy manner. This is our process approach. Fact, processes are systematically integrated. Strategic and systematic approach. Strategic and systematic approach. Manage processes together as one connected system because they are connected. है ना? If we do this, what happens? It leads to everything becoming more efficient and effective. Efficient is about using less resources to achieve the output, and effective means achieving the output or the results in a better manner. Now, strategic and systematic approach. After this, integrated system. Which says that departments should not work in isolation, they should work together. No department silos. That means no one should work in isolation. When departments coordinate with each other, organization improves faster. Done. So these are the underlying principles of TQM. Next is steps. TQM steps. So there are total 8 steps. First step is identify customer or customer group. Identify customer or customer group. How to identify customer or customer group? Through multi-voting. Use multi-voting. Give every manager 2 or more votes so that they can vote more than one area as the important customer group, and then select the most important customer group out of it. Through multi-voting, find out the most important customer group. After finding out the most important customer group, now the next step is identify their expectations. Identify. This is our second step. Customer expectations. For underlying principles, it's not important to write it line by line. But when there are steps, you need to write it in the same sequence as we studied. You can't change the sequence for them. And that is why numbering is important here. Identify customer expectations, that what customer wants or expects. Next, third point. Third is identify customer decision making and product utilities. Third, identify customer decision making requirement and product utilities. What are the things on the basis of which customer is making decisions? We are going to find that out here. What customer need for decision making and what benefits they value the most. This is our third step. So customer group is identified, what they expect, we identified that as well. We identified what are the things on the basis of which they make the decisions. Now we will do internal analysis, that what are the things we are lacking on the basis of which customer is making decisions. Or not choosing us, they are choosing our competitors on our place. This is our fourth point. Identify perceived problems, which are the internal problems in decision making and utilities. So in this step, company list its own doubts, weaknesses, and problems using tools like brainstorming, and multi-voting. So brainstorming will be used to find out all the weaknesses, doubts and problems, and with the help of multi-voting we will find out most important problem. Now, after looking at our internal problems, now we will look at what competitors are doing better. So fifth point is benchmarking and comparison with other firms. So, company compares itself with competitors, industry leaders, best performers. Why company is comparing itself with all of them? To understand what others are doing better, what competitors are able to do in a better manner as compared to how we are doing it. How to improve our own system. How we can improve our own system on the basis of what customers are doing, how we can also achieve that, and what weaknesses are most serious. What are the areas where our weaknesses are very serious, which we are not able to solve, but our competitors are able to perform them in a great manner. Next is sixth. That is, now we will look at or take feedback from customers. Customer feedback. One to 5 was internal analysis, and sixth is where company talks to customer. How company will talk to customer? Through surveys, interviews, and feedback forms. Why we are doing that? To correct wrong assumptions made earlier. Whatever wrong assumption we made about that this is the way customer makes decision, we can correct them now. Now after correcting them, now we finally know what are the areas where we lack, what are the areas what customer expect from us, and what are the areas where competitor are performing better than us. Now after identifying all of these areas or all of these problems, now we will find out improvement opportunities and implement it. And this is our 7th and 8th step. 7th step is about identify improvement opportunities. And 8th step is implement quality improvement process. Now how to do both of these? Using praise. We will use praise to achieve or to identify improvement opportunities and to implement them. Done. Now we can move forward and understand what does praise means. But before that, just highlight what are the important things here. Customer group, customer expectations, customer decision making requirements. We will look at our internal processes. Then we'll compare ourselves with the competitors, take feedback from customer, identify improvement opportunities and implement the same. Done. These are the steps of TQM. Now, what does praise means and what it does? So we understood that with the help of praise, we are going to identify improvement opportunities and implement the same. Now, how praise is going to do that? What is praise? So praise is a short form for P, that is problem identification. First of all, identify what all problems are there, which we will do in our TQM steps. From 1 to 6, we are following that steps just to identify what are the problems are there. What are the areas where customer is dissatisfied and what are the areas we are lacking from competitive advantage. And that is what we were doing in TQM steps. We are finding what are the areas where we are not able to satisfy our customers and where we lack from competitors. We found out in TQM steps. Now, next, after identifying problem, next is R, that is rank them. Rank the problems on the basis of what are the problems which are most valuable and important and what are the problems which can be easily solved. So P, R. A is analyze the problems, understand the problems, that why this particular problem is arising. After understanding the problems, I, that is innovate, find out different solutions for solving that problem. Next is S. S is solution. Now implement the best solution. So in innovation, we found out all the solutions. In S, we will implement the best solution. After that, E, that is evaluation. In evaluation, we will see whether the implementation of solution is happening in a proper manner or not. Are we able to have benefits from implementing this solution or not? We are going to evaluate that in our evaluation step. So praise is P, problem identification, then rank all the problems, then analyze the problem, understand the problems first, then innovate different solutions, implement the best solution, and then evaluate, that means monitor whether implementation is happening properly or not. Done. Now let's understand them in a deeper manner. First, identifying the problem. For that to be understood, that first we will find out where we lack in customer satisfaction and where we are behind our competitors, where competitors are having advantage and we are not. Clearly state all the problem. Every problem which you have, you will list all of them here. So we were taking the example of washing machine. Washing machine can have problem of vibrating a lot, motor overheating, complex control planner, service response, performance. Every problem which we found out in TQM step will be listed here. After listing every problem, rank them on the basis of priorities. How you will prioritize a particular problem? On the basis of how important it is and how easy it is to solve. Think about it. We have listed on the basis of importance. But the thing is, the first thing which we want to improve, or the first problem, is very complicated to solve. But the second one, that is also important but very easy to solve. So what is better? It's better to solve the problem which is easy to solve first. But the thing is, make sure it should also be important, right? So by ranking, our main aim is to find out a problem which is important plus easy to solve, so that we can solve that problem first and gain some confidence, right? Next. So we have listed all the problems on the basis of importance. Next comes analysis. In analysis, we will study the problem deeply and ask that why this particular problem is happening. What is the reason due to which this problem is happening in our product? And what are the possible effects of it? If this problem remains, what all are the consequences which our organization has to bear? And how much it affects our performance. So here we will quantify that in how much percentage basis this is affecting our organization's performance. So if I have selected one problem which is vibration, which is important also and easy to solve, then I will analyze it. Find out why vibration is happening. So poor drum balancing might be there for the machine, low quality shock absorbers, or uneven weight distribution, due to which this vibration is happening in the machine and it makes the machine very noisy. Now, next we will find out that what are the possible effects of this vibration. It leads to customer dissatisfaction, return of product, and bad reviews. These are the effects or consequences of the problem. Now next find out that how much in percentage terms or in quantity terms it is affecting our performance. So 40% of service complaint is coming from vibration. First find out why it is happening, what are the consequences, and how much it affects our performance. Next, after studying the problem in a deeper manner, analyzing it properly, next we will find out all the solutions. That is innovation. Now here you need to think creatively so that you can find out different solutions. So first thing which you do in innovation is suggest different ideas through which you are able to solve the problem. But next you need to also find out that what all are the barriers due to which we will not be able to use this idea. First identify the idea, then identify what all are the barriers or are the things which are stopping us from applying that idea. Next find out enablers. What are enablers? Enablers are the one which help us to implement that idea, which makes it easy to use this particular idea. So first identify ideas, then their barriers, then their enablers, and then find out who all are the people which will be required to implement this idea. So let's take the example of machine to understand this in a better way. We were looking at the problem of vibration in the machine. So vibration can be solved with the help of balancing the mechanism of the machine or using better shock absorbers. So these are the different ideas which we collected. Then we will find out what all are the things which are stopping us from applying this idea. So to apply both of these, there will be high cost incurred by the organization. Next, we will find out enablers which are helping us to apply these ideas. So we have some technology with the help of which we can apply both of these. So it is the enabler. With the help of technology, it can be done in an easy manner. Then we will find out what all peoples will be required to apply this. So design team, production team and suppliers, all of them will be required, because think about it, if you are changing the balancing mechanism, design team will be involved to make the changes in the design of the product. Production team will be producing the product and supplier will be the one who will provide us material for these things, right? So this is the innovation step. After innovating, we will find out the best solution and implement it. So find out the best solution and implement the best solution. Now to implement the best solution, there might be some changes which are required in the process. So make that process changes. And as you are changing the process, you need to train your employees again, do the same, that provide the training and make proper documentation which can be referred by the employee and the customer for the changes. Implement best solution. So we found out that balancing mechanism is the best solution. So we are installing that new balancing system. Now for this, we need to make process changes, that machines need to be arranged accordingly for the same. Then we are providing proper training to our technicians and updating our quality manual for the same. Done. After implementing the solution, we need to evaluate whether our solution is implemented properly or not. So monitor effectiveness, how solution is implemented and what result it is giving to us. Then establish performance indicator on the basis of which we will judge that how much performance have been improved by implementing that solution, and then identify further improvements and repeat cycle, because TQM is a continuous process. It is not going to stop after solving one problem. We will try to solve every problem which is happening in the organization, and that is why we need to repeat the cycle again. So monitor effectiveness for machine. After applying that solution, we found out that complaints have been reduced by 60%. That is the effectiveness, that is the result of applying that solution. Establish performance indicators. How you will find out that your particular solution which you implemented is actually giving you benefits. For that, you need to set some indicators like service calls which were happening earlier and service calls which are happening now. Customer ratings which were happening earlier or provided by the customers earlier, and customers ratings provided now. You can judge on the basis of this whether your performance have been improved or not. Next, identify further improvement and repeat cycle. So for now we solved the problem of vibration. Then we can take the another problem which is overheating, and we will try to solve the same again, following the same process, repeating the same cycle. Chalo. So these were the steps or the praise analysis which we use to find out improvement opportunities and to implement that process. Done. Now next comes difficulties in praise analysis. So this praise analysis is not easy to implement in the organization. There are some difficulties which stops us from getting the full benefit of praise analysis, and that is why it's important to look at those difficulties and what are the remedies to solve those difficulties. So in this difficulties in praise analysis, we are going to look at all the difficulties which are there for every step and what are the steps or the remedies to solve those difficulties. This is important, can be asked in exams. That is why we need to understand it in a better way. So problem identification. What is the problem to identify the problems? What can be the difficulty to identify the problem? So the first thing, that we know the effect, that a particular problem is there and we are able to know the effect of it. But what is the problem is not visible. Like we know that there are customer complaints about performance and quality of machine is bad. But how this performance is bad? Or why you are saying that the quality of the product is bad? Is it vibration or noise or motor issue? What is the issue due to which customer are saying that the quality of the product is bad is not known? So we know the effect that there are a lot of customer complaints, but we don't know the reason behind it, that why the customer complaint is coming. Next difficulty is problem is known. Now we know the problem, but that problem is not measurable. Like we know that our after sales service is bad, but why we are saying it bad? It is not measurable. We don't know the response time, we don't know the number of complaints, we don't know the customer rating. So if it is not measurable, then how you will try to control it, right? It's important that your problem should be measurable, then only you can control it and know whether we actually improved it or not. So next difficulty is problem is known, but it is not measurable. Next is problem is very broad. We know the problem, but problem is too broad to solve. Like poor communication, low morale of the employees, like they are less motivated. So these are too broad and there is no specific step through which you can solve that. So what are the difficulties with problem? Problem may not be known, but the effect is visible. If problem is known, then it is not measurable. Sometimes problems are too broad. These are the difficulties with problem. Now how to solve it? Think about it. How you can solve a problem which is not visible? How you can make it visible? Through multi-voting. You can ask all your managers to vote for it, all your employees to vote for it, and know which is the area where the customers are having problem and which is the area why they are saying that performance or quality of the product is bad. Okay? If problem is not measurable, then find some way to make it measurable, right? Because if you are not able to measure it, how you will control it? So measuring is important. You can't say that we don't know how to measure it. You need to find out some areas through which you can measure them. Like response time, you can calculate it, right? You can see what time the customer is taking to respond to the employees. What time our staff is taking to respond to the customer, and how many complaints have been recorded. You can calculate all of it. If you don't know it now, try to know how you can measure that. If the problems are too broad, then also you can do panel discussion, multi-voting to find out that what specific thing we need to work on to solve these problems. So to solve all of these, what you need to do, you need to use multi-voting. You need to use brainstorming, where everyone in the organization or the main managers are sitting together and finding out the solution or the way through which they can make this visible, through which they can measure it, through which they can also solve these two broad problems. You can do panel discussions and you can find out ways to measure it. Done. So these are the remedies: brainstorming, multi-voting, panel discussion, and quantify the problem. If it is not measurable, you need to make that measurable, because if you are not able to measure it, you will not be able to control it. Done. Next, ranking. So now we are going to rank our problems on the basis of importance. But the thing is, everyone in the organization may think on the basis of their judgment. They might think that this particular think about it. If one manager is thinking that this problem is important, other one is thinking that problem is important, no one is having consensus here. It can also happen that every department is prioritizing their problems, what their department is facing. No one is focusing on how the whole organization is facing the problem and what is the most important problem for the whole organization. Everyone will think on the basis of their department. So these are the problems which are there in ranking. So different people rank problems differently. Department may have conflicting priority. The department which is ranking, or the department manager which is ranking the problems, they can rank on the basis of what are the problems they are facing in their department, or no agreement or consensus among team member. It can also happen that after multi-voting also, we are not able to find out the most important problem which need to be solved. So production team thinks vibration is minor, but marketing can think it is critical, because due to this, the product is not being bought by the customers, right? So production says power issue is bigger, marketing says vibration issue is bigger. So everyone will think on the basis of their problem and not on the basis of the whole organization. Now, how we can solve this difficulty? First thing is everyone should participate, because if specific departments are only participating, they'll focus on their department only. It's very important that every department should participate in ranking process, in multi-voting process, and everyone should be made clear that you need to prioritize organization's goal and not your department's goal. That should be made clear before multi-voting, so that the focus of this multi-voting is clear to everyone. So these are the remedies for ranking. You can have a participative approach where everyone is involved, and you can encourage members to place group interest above personal interest. Ask them reasons for selecting that problem. This is a very good way. You can ask them, everyone, that why this particular problem is selected by you. If you will ask them and they know that you are going to ask, they can't prioritize their own department. They need to prioritize the whole organization. Done. Next is the analysis. What are the difficulties with analysis? So in analysis, what we are doing, we are analyzing the problem and understanding why this particular problem is happening. Now, what the particular team which is applying praise analysis can do, they can jump to the solution directly without thinking it properly. Analysis requires us to think the problem properly or to understand the problem properly. If you will jump on solution without understanding it, you will not find a correct or good solution for your problem, right? So people jump to quick fix solution. No deep root cause analysis is done. And that is the problem which is there in analysis. Analysis requires deep analysis, and people are doing like jumping over the problems and not analyzing the problem correctly, just jumping to the solution. For example, vibration issue was there. So one employee says that just tighten the drum. What is the issue? But the thing is, if you think deeper, just by tightening the drum, you will not be able to solve this vibration issue, because poor shock absorbers are already there and design imbalance is already there. Even if you tighten the drum, you will not be able to solve the vibration issue. So what is the remedy of it? If people are not analyzing the problem, properly, they need to think laterally. That means they need to think from a different perspective. Think problem from a new angle. Don't think it in a direct solution manner. Don't jump directly to the solution. You can do brainstorming. If one employee is the one who is doing that, you can do a panel discussion with a number of employees so that you can get a good analysis or understanding of the problem. And when you are understanding the problem, it's very important to ask why again, so that you can go deeper to understand the problem in a better way. Done. Next is innovation. Now, innovation means you need to find a lot of solutions. To find solution, you need to have creative thinking and expertise. Then only you will be able to find out the solutions, right? Ideas remain only as thoughts. Sometimes it happens that our idea is such that which can't be implemented. So idea remains as thought. Inability to convert idea into action. That is what this point was also saying, that we are not able to convert our ideas into action. That is the problem which innovation faces, that there is lack of creative expertise. The idea is there, but we don't know how to implement it actually. So what is the remedy of it? So if people are not able to think creatively or have expertise for the same, it's very important that you need to do systematic evaluation of all aspects. Now, what does it mean? Think of yourself. When you give your exams, there are some problems which we are not able to understand. And when you are not able to understand it, would you be able to solve it properly? Answer is no. For solving the problem, it's very important to understand the problem properly. So, first thing is, if you want to make innovative ideas or creative ideas for solving the problem, you first need to evaluate the problem properly. And that is what this remedy is saying, that systematically evaluate all aspects of the problem so that you can understand the problem properly. And when you understand it, you will be able to solve it. You will be able to find the ideas. Then if you are not able to apply the ideas or implement the ideas, you can break the idea into clear actionable points. You can break down your idea so that you can find out how this can be made actionable in the organization. Done. Next is solution. In solution, we find out the best solution and implement it. Now, what is the problem with it? What is the problem with implementing the best solution? Our managers, middle managers can resist that. See, in TQM, our aim is to involve employees also, give them also the freedom to provide innovative ideas or suggestions. But the thing is, sometimes it can happen that middle managers may feel that if employee will do the same, then what we will do? We will lose our authority. And with that risk of losing the authority, middle managers can resist implementation of the solution. There might be fear of extra work from the employee's side, from the manager's side, and there might be fear that cost will also increase. Due to this, implementation doesn't happen. Now, what is the remedy of it? Effective internal communication. The top managers and middle level managers should have a good communication so that they can understand that there is no fear. If employee is suggesting, then organization will improve. Your authority will also improve at the end. Next, training of managers and workers so that they can work in a participative manner. Managers and workers working together. No one is above us, no one is below us. Everyone is working together. They can understand that. Next, participative approach. Everyone should participate. Then only it will be easier for us to implement the solution. Next is evaluation. In evaluation, we see whether our implementation has been done effectively or not. We measure our progress. What will be the difficulty in evaluation? The first thing is, if you have not implemented it properly, how you will monitor it? So, problem in implementation itself. And next, we want to measure our performance. If there is no measurable data, how you will compare it? The problem which we are solving, we have solved the problem and implemented the solution. But the thing is, we don't know what was the situation earlier. Then how can I compare? Or with whom I should compare this current situation? There should be some data of the previous situation, then only you will be able to compare it. So if you don't have measurable data about the past, you will not be able to control the current situation or know what is happening or know either we are improving or not. Right? So what is the remedy of it? Effective control system to measure performance. You should make sure whenever you are applying praise, you know what is happening right now so that you can know whether we are able to improve after applying the praise or not. Make a feedback system for proper implementation so that our workers can tell to the managers whether the implementation is happening properly or not, or are they facing some problems in it or not. Done. So these are the difficulties or remedies of praise. I hope you understood. It's very important to understand that, because if you will try to remember all of these, it will be very complicated for you. But when you try to understand them, it becomes easier for us to remember them and retain them till the exams. Next, central theme of praise. So praise depends on two things. The first is quality control and next is total employee involvement. Praise is used in TQM. So if TQM is dependent on total employee involvement, praise is also dependent on total employee involvement. Without this, praise cannot work. Quality control. That means in praise, our main aim is to find better quality and continuous improvement and to work for better quality and continuous improvement. Now, why in praise we are doing quality control and total employee involvement? There is only one focus, and that is customer. So praise is part of TQM. So if TQM focuses on quality control and total employee involvement to focus or to fulfill the requirements of the customer, then praise is also going to do the same thing. Done. Now, next is implementation of praise. When you are implementing praise, you need to follow these three practical guidelines which are very important for implementing praise. We are not talking about implementing the solution which is given by praise. If we want to apply in our organization this praise analysis, we need to follow these three guidelines. The first one is start with small issues and move to big issues. And that is what was mentioned in the ranking. In the ranking step of praise, it was mentioned that you need to solve the problems which are important but easy to solve. That means directly will not jump to big issues which are complicated to solve. We will first focus on the things which are important plus easy to solve so that we can get confidence and get an easy winning first, so that afterwards we can solve these big issues also. So big problems are complicated and involve many departments. If you directly start with solving a very large or complex issues, your project may fail early. You'll not be able to solve that. You'll not be able to gain confidence. है ना? So begin with a small but meaningful problem that is easy to solve. There are two things which is very important, that the problem should be small. That means it should be easy to solve, but it should also be meaningful. That means it should be important. Because if the problem is not important, that means you are not solving anything which actually creates impact. You need to solve something which creates impact, a positive impact, and which is easy to solve first. Why? Because early success builds confidence for the team. Team learns how to work together, how we can work together in a team and achieve success. Once the team succeeds with small issues, they can gradually tackle bigger ones. So first, start small, gain experience and confidence, then only solve the big issues. This is the first thing or the first guideline for implementing praise in your organization. Next, it says that choose a problem that is solvable and has a real impact. And that is what the first point was also saying, that even if you are selecting the small issues, make sure they are important and they are creating real impact. And this is also saying the same thing. Whenever you are selecting a problem, it should not be too small or unimportant. It should be small, but it should also be important. It should be a problem where improvement makes a real difference. Progress should be measurable within a reasonable time. Three things are mentioned here. First, it should not be too small. It should make a real difference. And it should be measurable. Because think about it, if you are not able to measure it, how you will know that you have made improvements in it? So measurement is also very important. Why? Because team stays motivated when they see real progress. If you solve some unimportant problem, there will be no improvements, there will be no impact, a positive impact on the organization. And if they are not able to see a positive impact by doing a lot of effort, then team will not be able to be motivated. Visible success helps others in the company believe in the praise process. When you are able to measure the progress, that what was the situation before applying praise and after applying praise, that measure help us to know that we have succeeded in applying it. And also others in the company who are not part of this praise analysis also understand the importance of praise analysis. It keeps the improvement process moving smoothly. When you are actually working on something which is important, you'll definitely move towards the final goal which we want to achieve, that is complete quality improvement in the organization. So improvement process also moves smoothly towards the right direction. Pick a problem that matters and can be solved within a reasonable time. Done. Next, recognize and reward participants. If with the help of praise, we actually got a good impact on the organization or a positive results, then definitely the team should be recognized and rewarded. When a praise project succeeds, team members should get recognition. They should feel that their success matters to the organization. This success matters to the organization and they value those people who brought this success. Recognition can be monetary or non-monetary, doesn't matter. Monetary, that means you can give bonus or prizes. Non-monetary, that means you can give certification, appreciation and announcements in front of every employee. It encourages employees and create a positive environment in the organization. Why it is important to recognize and reward participants? Because people feel valued for their contribution. They contributed to organization and organization is giving reward to them. It is a good relation between both of them. It motivates others to participate in future improvement programs. As others are seeing that the people who applied praise analysis are getting recognition, they also feel motivated that we will also work for the same from upcoming improvement programs. Recognition builds a culture of teamwork and continuous improvement. As once organization does that, they got success in applying praise and the employees who did that got rewards. They are going to do that again and again because they know if they succeed, they are going to get recognition. And that is what every employee wants. And that is why it also creates an improvement culture, a continuous improvement culture in the organization. Celebrate success and appreciate the people who made it happen. Next comes 6 C's of TQM. But before going into 6 C's and understanding that, let's just write everything we understood about praise analysis. So up to TQM steps we have already written. Next comes praise analysis. So why praise is implemented? We already understood that we use praise analysis to find out improvement opportunities and to implement quality improvement process. So no need to write that again. Here we'll only write the steps of praise. First we have P, that is problem identification. In problem identification, we will find out areas of customer dissatisfaction. What are the areas where customer is dissatisfied? And areas lacking competitive advantage. And if you notice, we have already done this in TQM steps. We can write it here that this will come from TQM steps. Next, after identifying the problem, R, that is rank them. Ranking. In ranking, we will prioritize the problem on the basis of importance and ease of solving. How important that problem is and how easy it is to solve that problem. On the basis of this, we are going to rank every problem. Next, PR. A is for analyze the problems. Analyze. Study problems deeply. Ask why this is happening. What are the possible effects? What are the possible consequences due to this? And how much it affects performance. PRA, I. I is for now you will find innovative ideas to solve that problem. Innovation. Think creatively to find solution. Suggest different ideas. Then identify barriers which are stopping us to apply this idea. Identify enablers which are helping us to apply this idea. And the team or the people who will be required to implement this idea. Identify people whose cooperation is needed. Next, S, that is we will implement the best solution. Implement the best solution. Now, when you are implementing the best solution, you need to make some process changes. So, make required process changes. And provide proper training to your workers so that they can implement those changes, and properly document what all changes you made. Next, PRAISE. E is for evaluation. In evaluation, we'll see how effective our implementation was. Monitor effectiveness. Next, establish performance indicators through which you are going to evaluate the performance. And identify further improvements which you can make, and repeat the cycle. Done. So these are the process or the steps of praise analysis. Done. After praise analysis, we understood that what are the difficulties in praise analysis. Write it down. Difficulties in praise. So whenever you are writing praise, write it in whole capital letters, right? Praise analysis. Because this is a short form of the analysis. Next, I'm dividing this into 3 parts. First, I'll write the main headings, and then we will write difficulties and remedies. The first step is problem identification. First, identify the problem. Next, what are the difficulties in problem identification? That effect is visible, but the problem is not measurable or visible, right? Effect is visible, but problem is not. Next, we know the problem, but it is not measurable. Not measurable problem. Or the problem is too broad to solve. Now, what is the remedies for the same? We can use brainstorming or multi-voting or panel discussion. And if your problem is not measurable, then find out the way to measure them. Quantify the problem. Next, ranking. What is the issue of ranking? The issue is departments can prioritize their problems, and there can be disagreements between the teams. So, different people, different ranks. Different peoples can give ranks differently. Departments may prioritize their problems. No agreement among team. How to solve this problem? You can have a participative approach where everyone is getting involved, and you can make it very clear that organization's goal should be fulfilled. As a whole organization, you need to think. You need not think only on the basis of your department. For that, you can ask your managers who did multi-voting or who did that ranking, that why you prioritize those particular problems. Group interest above personal interest. Next, third is A, that is analyze. For analysis, what is the problem? People can jump directly to the solution without thinking the problems properly. है ना? People jump to quick fix solutions. No deep root cause analysis. What is the solution for the same? Lateral thinking. New angle. That means think the problem from new angle. You can use brainstorming, where everyone is sitting together to discuss the problem properly, and you can ask why again and again so that you can go deeper in the problem, and that is what we want in analysis. Next. Fourth is I, that is innovation. What is the issue with innovation? That people are not thinking creatively and they don't have the expertise for the same. Lack of creativity and expertise. Inability to convert idea into action. That can be also said as ideas remain as thought, we are not able to implement it, right? So what we will do for the same? Systematic evaluation of all aspects of the problem. First, understand the problem properly, then only you will be able to think creatively or find the solution of it. For that, it's very important to understand the problem or evaluate the problem, every aspect of problem properly. Then break idea into actionable plans. This is innovation. Next comes S, which is solution. What is the problem with the solution? In solution, our main focus is to implement the solution. So middle managers can resist it. They can think that the cost will also increase. Hana? Work will also increase. Cost and work both together are increasing. What is the difficulty with solution? That our managers can resist for the same. Middle managers can resist. Our work and cost can increase. These are the difficulties or the thinking which managers are having, which are stopping us to implement the solution. Resistance from middle managers. And fear of extra work or cost. What you can do for the same? Effective internal communication. It should be properly communicated to everyone that no one is going to lose the authority. Why middle managers are resisting? Because they think they are going to lose authority. So you need to make that very clear that no loss of authority will be there, and managers and workers should be trained properly. You can tell that in place of increasing the work, it can actually help you to reduce the work. No need of doing rework again and again if you are actually solving the problem. Participative approach, everyone should participate. Then only implementation can be done properly. Next, last is evaluation stage. What is the problem with evaluation? First, if implementation is not proper, then how you will evaluate, right? So problem in implementation itself. Or else you don't have the measure to control your performance. No measurable data to control results or to compare results, right? So what you can do? You can build an effective control system for the same. and take feedbacks from the employees whether implementation is happening properly or not, or what are the problems they are facing while implementing it. So these are the difficulties in praise analysis. Next comes, when you are implementing praise analysis, you need to follow 3 guidelines. 3 guidelines for implementation of praise analysis. So when you are going to apply praise analysis in your organization, you need to follow these 3 guidelines. What are they? The first one is start with small issues and then move to big issues, right? Start with small issues and move to big issues. When we say small issues, what does we mean here? We are aiming to solve small plus meaningful plus easier to solve things. Right? It should be small, but it should also be meaningful. It should be important, and it should also be easy to solve. What are big issues? Complicated, and involves every department, and that is why we are saying it as big issue, because it is very complicated to solve and can involve every department of the organization. Now, why we are doing this? Why we are solving small issues first and then moving to big issues? Why? Because early success leads to confidence. Employees will feel motivated and confident because they have seen the success first. Next comes teamwork. They understand how they can work together in a team. Experience gain. They also gain the experience about how they can solve the problems. Next. While implementing, the next guideline which you need to follow is choose a problem that is solvable plus has real impact. So the problem should be solvable plus have real impact, then only solve that problem, because if you solve an unimportant problem, then it's of no use for the organization. Not too small or unimportant. The problem should be not too small or unimportant, right? Next, should make real difference plus measurable, because if the problem is not measurable, how you will know that you have made an improvement? And that is why it should also be measurable. Next. Last is reward and recognize participants. Successful praise. If praise is successful, what you need to do? You need to recognize the team members. When we say recognize team members, what does it mean? You need to provide them monetary or non-monetary rewards. Why we are doing this? To encourage employees, feel valued, that as they have contributed to the organization, they are also getting that recognition. And it also motivates other to work for praise analysis. These are the guidelines for implementation. Done. Next, one more thing we have understood, that is central theme of praise. What is the central theme? That it depends on quality control and total employee involvement. And main focus is customer. Done. So this is everything we understood about praise analysis, which we listed in our 3 pages. Done. Moving forward to our next part, that is 6 C's of TQM. Now what are these 6 C's of TQM? These are the 6 essential things which are required when you are implementing TQM in your organization. So if you want to successfully implement TQM in the organization, you need to apply these 6 C's. What are these 6 C's? The first one is commitment. That, think about it, we already understood that TQM is a management philosophy. If management is not supporting it, you will not get benefit of TQM. And that is why commitment is important from the top leadership. Quality starts at the top. If the top leadership is serious, the whole organization will follow. And that is why commitment is important from the top management. TQM only works if top management is 100% committed. That is why it is known as management philosophy, because without it, it is not going to work. Top management should be 100% committed. Quality cannot be left to one department or one officer. Everyone in the organization should be committed, even the top management. Leaders must clearly communicate quality expectation and provide training and support to the employees so that they can also work towards improving the quality. Next is culture. Quality should become habit in the organization, not a special task. It's very important that everyone in the organization change their mindset about how they look towards quality. Training is essential so that they can shift negative mindset about thinking that quality is not my job. We are always doing it in this manner. Why we change the process which we are following? So this negative thinking should be removed and mindset should be changed so that they understand why quality is actually implemented in the organization, and for that training is important for the employees. Everyone must start seeing quality as part of their daily work. Culture change is important. First, commitment from the top managers, then change the culture, change the mindset of the employees through training. Next is continuous improvement, because TQM can't work by applying it one day. You need to work on it every day. Never stop improving. Total quality management is not a one-time project. It is an ongoing process. There will always be scope to improve products, processes, and system. Every small improvement matters. That is Kaizen philosophy. In TQM, we apply this Kaizen philosophy of continuously improving even if the improvement is small. Next. Cooperation. Everyone must work together. First, we created culture. We are changing their mindset. Then we are asking employees to cooperate. Everyone should cooperate for quality, because TQM depends on total employee involvement. The total in TQM is about total employee involvement. Employees at every level must cooperate, give suggestions, and participate in improvement teams. Without teamwork, TQM will fail. So we need to make sure that everyone is cooperating, working, or responsible for maintaining quality in the organization. Next is customer focus. So we already understood that in total quality management, quality is mainly about what customer wants. So customer focus is very important. And when we say customer focus, we want an organization to focus on both the customers, whether it be internal or external customers. Now, what does internal and external customer means? Internal customer means, like in production department, there might be 3 processes: process A, process B, and process C. Process A's output is used by process B, process B's output is used by process C, and process C provides the final product. Now think about it. Process A is manufacturing for process B. So process B is the customer for process A. Can I say that? Process B is customer for process A. So process A has to make sure that they are providing the best service or the best quality of their product for their customer, and their customer is process B. Similarly, for process B, process C is the customer. So they need to make sure that they provide quality products to their customer, which is process C. So inside customers should be satisfied, and if you notice, process C is providing the final product to the customer. So process C is providing satisfaction or quality to the external customer. So they also need to make sure that their product is quality product. So whether you are serving inside the organization or outside, you need to make sure that you are providing quality product. TQM focuses on both external and internal customer. External means the final buyer, and internal means colleagues inside the company who rely on your work. So process B relies on process A's work. So here also quality should be maintained. Understanding customer need is the foundation of the quality. Everyone should understand their customer needs. Process A will understand process B's need. Process B will understand process C's need, and process C will understand the final customer's need. Next. Control. You can't improve when you don't control or measure. We are studying about this from a very long time, right? In praise also we understood that it's very important to control things. Then only you will understand whether you are improving it or not. So if you are not able to control it, you will not be able to improve your performance. TQM requires proper documentation, procedures and best practices, because without control system, you will not be able to improve, measure performance. You will not be able to know whether you are able to get any improvements or not. When you are not comparing yourself with what was happening in past and what is happening now. You cannot correct mistakes if you don't know it. Think about it. If you don't know what was happening earlier, you don't know what all mistakes you are making. If you don't know that, how you will correct mistakes? You cannot maintain consistency, because think about it. When you don't know what was happening earlier, you will not be able to improve it. If you're not able to get improvements even after working for it, you'll not be working consistently for improvements, because you don't know what is happening with all things you are doing, right? So these are the 6 C's of TQM. What are these 6 C's? They help us to implement TQM properly. So first one is commitment, that top manager should be committed for it. Culture, change in mindset is required in the organization. Next is cooperation, every employee should cooperate for the same. Continuous improvement, this is not a one-time activity, we need to work on it, we need to find improvements every day. Next is customer focus, we need to work for internal as well as external customers, try to fulfill their needs. Then we have control, because without control you can't improve. Done. Next we have 4 P's of TQM. So 6 C's were focusing on implementation of TQM, that if you want to implement TQM properly in the organization, you need to focus on these 6 C's. 4 P's of TQM is focusing on how we can prevent total quality paralysis. Now what is total quality paralysis? It means that you got stuck in TQM, you are not able to get its benefit, but you are doing something which is not helping you the way which TQM should help us. So we are doing the work, but we are not getting any output of it. And that is what TQM paralysis is. You are thinking that you are doing something, but you are not getting any output of it, which happens when TQM is implemented wrongly. So if you implement TQM wrongly, you will stuck in TQM paralysis, where you are doing something, but you are not getting output of it. This 4 P's of TQM ensure that process runs smoothly and avoids confusion. The first P is people, that choose the right people, because quality needs active contribution. Think about it. Everywhere when we were talking about total quality management, we specifically focus on total, That total means involving every employee in the organization, make every employee responsible for quality. But now in 4 P's of TQM, the first P is saying that include only the right people. What is this? In TQM, total means involving everyone. Then why choosing right people in 4 P's of TQM? Why we are focusing on choosing the right people? Because think about it, when we say total employee involvement, we are saying that everyone in the organization should be responsible for maintaining quality. We are not saying that everyone should join the quality meetings, lead quality improvement programs in the organization. We are not saying everyone to lead it. We are not saying everyone to join the quality meetings. We are saying only that everyone should be responsible in the organization to maintain quality. That means everyone, whenever they are doing their work, should focus on quality. So when we say right people in 4 P's of TQM, we are saying about those people who are going to lead, drive, and actively participate in improvement opportunities. They are going to make quality circle, Kaizen teams, process improvement team, TQM steering committees. So the people in 4 P's are the one who are going to lead this TQM philosophy. Done? So TQM team must include people who are motivated. Now think about it. Whom you will make a leader of TQM? Whom you will say to participate in quality meetings? Who are motivated by themselves for the same, who are excited for it, who are enthusiastic and willing to participate by themselves, who don't need a push for the same, who themselves are doing it. We want these type of people for leading our TQM philosophy. People who show no interest, skip meetings and avoid responsibilities or stay silent should not be included because they slow down the process. They are the one due to which we will not be able to implement TQM properly. So don't make them leaders who are not showing interest. Make the people who are motivated, who themselves want to participate as the leader of a quality management team. Done. Next. Next is process. Follow the process, don't take shortcuts. It's very important that whatever steps are there in TQM, we have total 7 steps of TQM, 8 steps of TQM, plus there is a praise analysis. It's very important that those steps are followed as it is, no need to change it. Follow the process, don't take shortcuts. TQM is a step-by-step process. Team should not jump to conclusions or skip stages. Every step, every stage which is mentioned in TQM should be followed as it is, no jumping from here and there. The structured process ensures that all options are discussed. What all problems are there, we already discussed it. What all are the ideas through which we can solve these problems, we have discussed all of them properly. No important stage is missed and solutions are developed logically. This is made sure when TQM steps are followed in a right sequence. So what is the sequence of TQM steps? First comes those 8 steps and then comes the praise analysis. We need to follow it as it is, then only we will be able to find the right solution. Done. Next, people process. Next comes problem. Choose the right problem, not something vague or impossible. This we already understood in praise analysis, that it's very important to choose the correct problem, then only you will see the impact of it. Team should focus on problems that are real, solvable and have economic impact. The problems which are not going to create a positive impact in the organization, don't solve it. Solving practical problems ensures quick results, which motivates the team. It also ensures recognition for participants and visible improvements. Solving the correct problem, the right problem which can actually create impact, can lead to successful results and can lead to recognition for employees. And that is what we want from it. Next, preparation. It's very important that everyone in the organization is trained properly for implementation of TQM. If they want to implement TQM, they need to teach everyone about the tools and methods which are there in TQM. So team members must understand what is creative thinking, brainstorming, how to use statistical tools, how to do data analysis. Now this training will not be only for accountants. Everyone in the organization, that means supervisor, data entry employees, everyone should contribute to this quality, and hence everyone should be trained for all of these. Done. So these are the 4 P's. What all are they? First, people, then preparation, then processes, then we have one more, which is problem, that we need to solve the problems which are actually possible and not vague. Done. Now let's write about 6 C's and 4 P's of TQM. Six C's of TQM. What are the 6 C's about? They are about essential requirements for implementing TQM. Essential requirements for successfully implementing TQM. The first C is commitment, that the top management should 100% commit for TQM. Top management %100 commitment. Don't leave TQM to one department. Next, culture. In culture, we want to change the mindset and create quality as habit. Quality as habit. And quality as part of everyone's daily work. Next, continuous improvement. Not one-time project, but an ongoing process. We can improve always. That is the aim, or that is the thinking with which TQM is applied. This is also known as Kaizen approach, continuous improvement, even if it is small. Next. After this, we have cooperation, that every employee should be involved. We can also call it as total employee involvement. TQM depends on total employee involvement from all levels. Next, customer focus. Whether it be internal or external customer, we want to serve both of them. Serve your customer, whether it be internal or external. Next is control, because the things which you don't control, you can't improve. Proper documentation, because you can't improve what you don't control. Done. These are 6 C's of TQM. Next, we understood what are 4 P's of TQM. 4 P's of TQM helps prevent TQM paralysis. What are these 4 P's of TQM? First one is people. Next, process, problem, and preparation. People. Choose the right people who are enthusiastic, motivated, plus willing to participate. To lead and drive active participation in improvement initiatives. So we want the people who can actively participate in improvement initiatives to lead this TQM process. Next, process, that means follow TQM process as it is. No need to skip steps. Discuss all options and develop solution logically. Next is problem. Choose right problem, not vague or impossible. The problem should actually be solvable. Next, preparation. Train everyone for creative thinking. Brainstorming. Data analysis. And statistical tools. Done. So these are the 4 P's and 6 C's. Now we can move forward to our next part, and that is our case study. And this case study is about Atlanticare. Atlanticare is a hospital where they are providing healthcare services, and they have around 5,000 employees, plus they work in 25 locations. Now, as healthcare is a service industry, patient satisfaction leads to success for the company, and that is what they want. And that as they want to satisfy the customer, they decided that they will apply TQM. But TQM implementing was never easy. Because why TQM implementation is not easy? Because middle managers fear losing authority. We already understood that middle managers think that if employees will be given opportunity to suggest suggestions, they will be involved for decision making, then what is our authority? How our powers will be maintained? And if employees also hesitate to speak up, because they also think that managers will scold us if we give some improvement techniques. They might not think that it is a good one. Organization often maintain rigid top-down communication, which also happened in this Atlanticare, that top-down communication is only happening, only the top are the ones who are giving suggestions or improvement plans or strategies, and that is implemented by the lower level managers. That is what was happening in this Atlanticare also. However, Atlanticare overcame these barriers and used TQM successfully. The need for TQM at Atlanticare. What was the reason why they used TQM in Atlanticare? Although Atlanticare had been doing well for years, but managers realized that there are gaps in internal communication. We also understood here, right, that the communication was happening only top down. So internal communication gaps are there, and due to this poor communication, in patient waiting time was increasing a lot. More complaints were coming from patients. Service process had small inefficiencies which were affecting customer satisfaction. Since patient satisfaction was the most important factor in healthcare, quality improvement became essential. So these are the reasons: internal communication failure and customer waiting time was increasing, complaints were increasing, some small inefficiencies were also there. Due to this, TQM was applied in Atlanticare. The method used: PDCA cycle. Now to solve this problem, they used plan, do, check, act cycle. They planned, identified issues like communication gaps, then they do. That means new communication methods were implemented. After implementing it, they checked whether this communication method was working properly or not. They measured waiting time now, patient feedback, and service flow. And if they found out that this method is working properly, they successfully implemented it across all departments. So for everything where they were facing some problems, they applied plan, do, check, act. Using PDCS revealed a major issue, that information was flowing only top down. Instead, employees at all levels needed to communicate sideways and upwards to improve patient care. So, to improve patient care, to provide quality services to the customers, there was necessity that the communication should also happen sideways and upwards. Now, what does it mean? So, when we say top-down communication, that means top managers are giving instruction to employees. Employees are not suggesting anything. Only whatever top managers are saying, employees are following it. When we say sideways communication, it means that if employee found some difficulty or problems which our patients are facing, they can directly tell it to, even if that problem is of different department, they can directly tell it to different department's manager without any issue. Even if employee is working in another department, the problem is of different manager, he can tell it directly without any issue. So sideways communication is happening between departments. When we say upward, if employee finds any problem in his department, he can tell it to his manager also without any problem, without any issue, without any hesitation. Sideways communication, the game changer. Instead of managers giving orders and staff silently following, Atlanticare encouraged that we can take feedback from nurses. If nurses found out some problem, they can directly tell to different departments. Suggestions from support staff. Support staff, if they have any suggestions, they can also give. Ideas from frontline employees, they can also give the suggestions. So cross-departmental communication was happening. Every employee could raise issues that affected quality, even if that issue is from different department. They can raise it. Now, why this mattered? Because employees were the closest one who were interacting with patients every day. So they are the one who sees the problem first, and they are the one who can, if they are telling it, we can improve the problems faster. When their voices were heard, quality improved rapidly. Training new employees in TQM culture. Now, this was the culture they built in their organization. Even if the new employee comes in, they are also trained for this TQM culture. Atlanticare made sure TQM wasn't a one-time program, but a culture. New employees received training on the performance excellence framework, which they built, like sideways, upward, both communication is easily possible. If you have any improvement ideas, you can definitely give us. They included in their training program all these quality rules: customer service, people and workplace, growth, and financial performance. As employees rose to high roles, this emphasis continued. Now think about it. The employees which are working now at a lower level, they are the one who slowly will become managers and then top managers. And that is why if they are learning about quality at the lower level, they will be maintaining it when they go to the higher levels. This created a tight, loose, tight management. Now what is tight, loose, tight management style? Tight means there are clear expectations and quality standards set which everyone has to fulfill. There the organization is tight, means they are strict for the same. Loose. Now freedom is there to innovate and find out solutions to solve the problem. They are very free to make improvements and innovation and suggest ideas. But there is a tight or strict rules about measurement of outcome, that how outcomes will be measured. This balance structured empowered employees but kept quality under control. Due to this tightness, quality was kept under control, but due to these looseness, the employees were given freedom and they are free to give innovative ideas, which helped to empower employee, which helped to keep quality under control. Now, what was the result of TQM? By improving communication, involving employees and focusing on patient satisfaction, Atlanticare achieved repeat customer tripled. Think about it. Not doubled, not a little increase or 10% or 20%. They were able to have increase of about 300%. That is triple customers are coming as compared to what was coming before TQM. Patient returned because they felt cared for, waited less and received better service. That is the reason why they were coming again and again. Market share reached a 6-year high. Better service, better reputation, more patients choosing Atlanticare, and profits increased massively from $280 million before TQM to $650 million after TQM. The revenue more than doubled because more patients visited, more stayed loyal, more recommended the service to others. Operational efficiency also improved, better communication, faster service, fewer mistakes, and happier employees and happier patients. And that is why TQM is very important. Now, why we are learning as a cost accountant about TQM in a very detailed manner? Because think about it, you are the person who is going to manage the companies. You are going to become the finance manager of the company or CFO of the company. So you should know that how quality can be improved. If you know, you can apply it in your department, you can suggest the whole organization to employ it and get the benefits of it. And that is why you should know what is all about this total quality management. So this was everything we discussed about total quality management. Next is our next topic, that is known as Pareto analysis. This is also known as 80-20 rule, that there are only 20% causes which brings 80% of the effect, and that is the base of this Pareto analysis. Pareto analysis is a decision-making techniques that helps the organization focus on the most important issues. Because if you know that there are only 20% causes which are bringing 80% of the effects, and there are 80% causes which are bringing only 20% effect, then you know that these are the 20% causes in which we need to focus to get the most benefit for the organization. So with the help of Pareto analysis, organization can focus on the most important issues instead of wasting time on less significant ones. It is built on the famous 80-20 rule this Pareto analysis is based on, discovered by an Italian economist named Vilfredo Pareto, as he is the one who discovered it, and that is why the analysis is known as Pareto analysis. He observed that 80% of the wealth in Italy was owned by 20% of the population. And then he found out the similar kind of patterns everywhere. This idea generalizes to many situations in businesses, like 80% complaints come from 20% customers, 80% defects come from 20% causes, 80% of sales come from 20% of the products, and 80% of delays due to 20% of the problem. Now you need to understand that when we say 80-20 rule, it's not always 80-20. It can become 90-10 or 70-30, but the main base is same, that there are very less number of causes due to which we are getting a huge effect. So we need to focus on those causes, those important causes which are bringing most of the effects. So this ratios may not always be exactly 80-20. It can become 70-30 or 90-10, but the principle remains same, which says that a small number of causes create a large part of the results. Hence, we need to focus on those few vital causes. Next, what are the usefulness of Pareto analysis? Why are we using this Pareto analysis? Because with the help of it, we can prioritize the problems, goals and objectives which are most important for the organization. So the problem which matters the most, we can focus on it. The goals and objective which matters the most for the organization, we can focus on it. So it helps you find which problems matter the most, so you can fix the main causes first instead of small causes. Instead of causes which are not going to create a good impact, you can focus on the causes which are most important. Next, select and define key quality improvement programs. With the help of Pareto analysis, we can find out what are the areas which are most important for improving the quality. If we improve quality there, we can get a good impact. So it tells you which areas of quality need improvement the most, so you don't waste efforts on things that don't matter. Select key customer relations and service program. Which customer issues are biggest and which needs to solve first, we can focus on them with the help of Pareto analysis. Next, select key employee relations. It's very important to solve employee related problems also, so that we can have a good relation with the employee. So what are the problems which employees are facing? The most important problem which can solve a lot of things which employees are facing, we need to focus on that first. Select and define key performance improvement programs. What are the issues, performance issues which are causing most of the problems? We can find that out and solve that first, so that we can get a great impact or great effect. Next, maximize research and development time. We can focus on the most important features or problems which can save time and resources, which we might have used on the things or the features which are not as important as the ones we found out through Pareto analysis. Verify operating procedures and manufacturing processes. We can find out the processes causing most errors and defects, so that we can solve them first to get most effect. Next, boost or assist product or services sales and distribution. If there are issues in sales and distribution, we can solve the top issues to get improvement, to get a massive improvement. Allocate physical, financial and human resources where they can get us more returns. We'll invest all our resources where we can get maximum benefit. So what Pareto analysis is doing, it is just helping us in different areas to find out what all are the important things we should focus on. Don't waste your resources, don't waste your time on everything. Focus on the most important things, and that is what Pareto analysis is telling us with the help of different usefulness. Next is application of Pareto analysis. So Pareto analysis can be applied in different areas, but these are the major areas through which organizations can have benefit of Pareto analysis. The first one is pricing of product. So think about a multi-product company which makes different types of product. Around 100 products are made by one company. Now, for pricing of all the products, how much time top management has to give? 100 products will take a lot of time. And this much time, if wasted on pricing only, then when they will focus on other things, right? And that is why Pareto analysis is used for pricing of a product. In this, we will bifurcate our products on the basis of how much revenue or profit they are generating. So there will be, as per 80-20 rule, there will be only 20% of the products which are generating 80% of the revenue, and there will be 80% of the product which are generating only 20% of the revenue. So which one our managers should focus on? Our managers should focus on the most important ones, which are this 20% of the products generating 80% of the revenue. So this point says that top managers should focus only on these products pricing, and they should do the pricing of this product in a very detailed manner, because these are the products which define our success. So what about these products? This can be given to lower level managers and can be priced only on the basis of cost plus some percentage of profit. No need to do a detailed research for the same, right? Let's see what has been written here. Multi-product firms spend strategic efforts on the few products that brings most of the profit. When a company sells many products, it is impossible to study pricing and profitability of every product in detail. And that is why, and Pareto analysis also shows that 20% of the products generate 80% revenue and 80% of the product generates only 20% revenue. And this means that top management should focus only on the 20% of the high revenue products. These products decide the company's success, and that is why they need careful pricing, competitor analysis and proper strategy. But this 80% low revenue products, their pricing can be delegated to lower level managers and simple cost plus profit pricing can be done for the same. By using this, management saves a lot of time and focus energy where it matters the most. Done. Next. Customer profitability analysis. Now, for customer also, you can do this Pareto analysis and find out the 20% most important customers which give you 80% of the revenue or profits, and the 80% of the customers give only 20% of profits. So with this analysis, we know that what are the customer groups we should focus on. These are the customer groups we should focus on. Instead of analyzing a company, analyze customers and classify them by profitability. Pareto principle often shows 20% of the customers are there, which gives us 80% of the profit. Some customers bring high value, others may bring losses. So these are the customers which can bring losses for you, and these are the customers which can bring high value for the organization. So what we need to do with this information? That we know this customer group is very important. Now what? Now decide whether to continue with unprofitable customer group or not, whether to continue with them or not, whether you need them or you think that they are not adding value and we can just remove these customer group. We need not focus on them. Allocate promotion budgets wisely. You can spend your budgets mainly on these customers, attracting these customers and not on them. Provide premium services to profitable customers and review or change pricing credit policy for low value customers. The customers which are not adding much value, you can change pricing for them. You can increase their minimum order value. You can reduce discount which you give to them. Charge extra prices for special services which you are offering and standardize your prices. No negotiations allowed. And you can also change your credit policy that only short period credit will be allowed. Lower credit limit will be there. Or else only cash on delivery or advance payments are allowed. No credit is allowed. You are doing this for low value customers. Now, how I will define or who will be the one who is low valued customer? The one who is buying only small order size, whose value is very small, high servicing cost is there, frequent complaints is there, late payment or credit misuse is there, and heavy discount is demanded by the customer, then these customers will be treated as low value customer by the organization. Done. Next. Why are we reviewing them? So that we can reduce the risk, improve our cash flow, and the misuse of company fund can be stopped. Now, this was customer profitability analysis. Next comes ABC analysis. ABC analysis is stock control analysis, where we classify our inventory on the basis of the most important ones or the most valuable ones will be treated as A category inventory. Now, this A category inventory is very high in value but very low in quantity. B category, somewhat high in value, somewhat high in quantity also. C category, very high in quantity but very low in value. Now, after categorizing this inventories, we mainly focus on A class items because they are very valuable and they need tight control. What is the use of classifying stock on the basis of ABC analysis? We can maintain strict control on A value, A type inventories, right? And reduce capital locked in A type inventories because they are the expensive ones. Avoid stock out for important items. The items, think about it, if C items are less valuable or less priced, does that mean that they are not important for organization? Answer is no. If you know that they are of less price, you can maintain a good amount of inventory for the same so that there is no stock out of the same, and your production processes do not stop due to that, because they are not asking you to spend a lot of money. You can spend less on them and maintain a good quantity of it so that due to them production is not stopped. Optimize purchasing decision also, that which one should be purchased at what time. You can decide that also with the help of this ABC analysis. Next comes application and activity based costing. Now this is ABC costing. What is ABC costing? So normally in our traditional costing method, what we do, the overheads which are our indirect expenses. Why we call them as indirect expenses? because they can't be directly charged to product or services. We don't know how much we spend them in our product or service. That is why we are calling them as overheads, indirect expenses. Now this indirect expenses are first charged to department, and then the cost is charged to product or services after charging them to department. But when you charge a particular overhead to department, you charge that overhead to product or service on the basis of some similar or not exact manner, like machine hours or labor hours. You divide it randomly, right? You don't know the exact reason behind it. And that is why ABC, activity based costing, was developed, which says that if there is any overhead is mainly incurred due to activities. So first, all the overhead expenses should be charged to the activity for which they were incurred. Now these activities will be on the basis of which activity was used in what number for product or service. These activities cost will be transferred to product or service. This is the right manner because each department can have different types of activities, and hence bifurcation through activities leads to correct bifurcation of overheads to each product. Here you can have incorrect pricing for the product or incorrect cost being charged to the product, which leads to incorrect decisions. And hence it's very important for organizations to use ABC costing so that you can know the correct pricing, correct cost of your product or services. Now, how Pareto analysis helps in activity based costing. With the help of Pareto analysis, we can find out the activities which are incurring higher overheads, due to which a lot of overheads expenses are happening. We can find those activities and try to control them, try to perform those activities in a lower manner so that the overhead cost can be reduced. And that is how Pareto analysis is used here. So control the main activities that create most of the overhead costs. In ABC costing, activities consume resources and cost drivers create activity cost. So we say that these are the activities due to which this costs are incurred, and these are the cost drivers, right? So we try to control these cost drivers so that the expenses can be controlled. Pareto principle often shows 20% of cost drivers create 80% of overhead cost. Now what is the use of it? So we can identify the activities that create the most cost, then reduce or redesign those costly activities so that their cost can be reduced. Control overhead costs more effectively, as those activities which are incurring a lot of cost, you are controlling them. You will be able to control your overheads in a more effective manner, and you can increase your cost accuracy also. Done. Next, quality control. If you want to fix the quality or fix the defects incurring, you can focus on the most important causes. So Pareto analysis says that 80% of defects come from 20% causes. So if you want to improve quality, focus on this 80% of the defects. Analyze defect reports, identify top 2 or 3 causes of most failures, and prioritize solution for these causes. Quickly improve quality with minimum effort. While doing this, you will be able to improve your quality with less effort. This gives huge improvement from a small number of actions. For this particular case, we have one example also. A toy company checked 84 defective products and grouped them on the basis of what are the type of defects which are incurring in our product. From highest to lowest, defects are arranged. So the first defect, which is the highest one in our product, is surface scratches. Out of 84 defects, 53 is due to surface scratches, which approximates to 63%. Cracks are around 10 defects, which is around 12%. Improper shape is 8 defect, 9.5%. Incomplete is 8 defect, 9.5%. And others are 5 defects, 6%. So what do you think? Which are the defects we should focus on first? We should first of all focus on these surface scratches because these are the highest. If we solve surface scratches, we'll be able to reduce our defects from 63%. If we solve our crack also, this leads to 12%. So in total, 75% of the defects are coming from these two only, even if we have total 5 defects. So what should be our focus area? These 2 defects should be our focus area. Now, how we will improve these 2 defects? So if you want to improve the scratches or remove the scratches, you can improve the quality of your plastic so that scratches are reduced. And if scratches are reduced, 63% of your defects which are coming from scratches can be reduced. Next, if There are cracks in our products. So cracks can be improved or removed by properly handling material. So if you handle materials properly, you will also reduce this 12% of the defect. So total 75% of the defects got reduced just by focusing on the two defects. And that is how our Pareto analysis is applicable. Done. I hope you understood this, and with this we have completed our today's topic of Pareto analysis also. Now let's open your summary book and write about Pareto analysis. So it's a decision making technique that helps organization focus on the most important issues instead of wasting time on less significant ones. It saves our time. It is built on the famous 80-20 rule. Discovered by Italian economist Vilfredo Pareto, and that is why it is known as Pareto analysis. The ratio may not always be exactly 80-20. Sometimes it's 70-30 or 90-10, but the principle remains the same, that there are only small causes which create large effect. Now, next comes usefulness of Pareto analysis. Now there are a lot of usefulness. So how to remember them? I'm categorizing them. So the first category is key. There are a lot of things which mention this keyword. What are they? Key quality improvement programs. With the help of Pareto analysis, we can focus on key quality improvements programs, key employee relation program, key customer improvement program, key performance improvement program, next is prioritize problems, objectives and goals, next maximize R&D, for those problems and features which are most important, verify operation procedures so that you can improve the process which leads to maximum benefit, boost sales and distribution by focusing on the issues which are most important, and last, allocate physical human and financial resources to the areas which can give you better results. So, quality customer employee performance. Prioritize R&D, process, sales, and resources. How to remember all of these? First, quality for customer, performance for employees. Quality for customer, performance for employees, prioritize R&D, process sales of resources. Prioritize R&D process and sales of resources. So quality for customer, performance for employees, prioritize R&D process. Process or procedures are the same thing, right? So prioritize R&D process, sales of resources. Done. With the help of this, we are going to remember this usefulness of Pareto analysis. Next comes application of Pareto analysis. Application of Pareto analysis. Application of Pareto analysis. So let's just start it from the next page. I think we can take it upwards. I'll need full page for the same so that we can complete the whole application in one page itself. So there are 5 areas where Pareto analysis can be applied in business for maximum benefits. First one is pricing of product. For multi-product firm, we can use Pareto analysis. It tells us that we can spend strategic effort on few products that bring most profit. So, top management focuses on 20% of high revenue products. The other 80% low revenue products pricing delegated to low level managers. This is our first point. Next is customer profitability analysis. So I'm taking it down. Customer profitability analysis. Focus resources on the customer who brings higher profit. What is the use of customer profitability analysis? Decide whether to continue with unprofitable customers allocate promotional budgets properly, premium service to profitable customers, and review changing price or credit policy for low value customers. Done. Now, this is customer profitability analysis. Next comes ABC analysis for your stock. Here, a few stock item hold most of your money, which are classified as A class item. So A class items. Control them tightly. Why we are using this ABC analysis? So the first reason is to control A class items tightly. Next reason is reduce capital logged in inventory. So we will reduce the total quantity of inventory maintained of A class item so that we can reduce the amount invested in inventory, because mainly the value which we have of inventory is of this. Next, maintain enough stock of C class items because they are of low value, right? Next, after ABC analysis comes ABC costing. Application in activity based costing. So here we control the main activities that create most of overheads, and we also reduce or redesign those activities so that we can reduce the cost of overheads. Next, and the last one is quality control. Here also we fix few vitals or few vital defects to solve most quality problems. Done. With this, we completed the Pareto analysis also. Now, in next class, we are going to study about lean accounting, and we also have a topic which is known as Six Sigma, which is going to be very interesting for you to understand. So all of these are the topics which we are going to study in our upcoming classes. But you need to make sure that not only writing is important, you need to revise all these things also. Sitting alone without watching the classes, you need to sit alone and revise all of these. That is the most important thing, because when it's very important to study alone, it's very important to sit with the notes and understand things or think about everything which you studied and read or written, whether you got understanding on them or not. It's very important. So make sure you are doing this just 10 to 15 minutes after class. Make sure you are reading your notes yourself, trying to understand whether, trying to think whether you got a good understanding on it or not. Done? Now we'll meet in our next class. Till then, happy learning everyone. Radhe Radhe. Bye-bye. Bye-bye everyone.